So I like to show you how I can use DMC Beam to do a search. And remember that DMC Beam is a capturing of organizations and projects that being initiated within Rochester. So the way I do this is I go to dmcbeam.org, and from here I'll get into the search feature of dmcbeam.org. There are two ways that I can get into the search mechanism, and I'll use this method first. Right? I'm going to click on this icon here, the search, and that will take me to a search screen, waiting for it to happen. Now that I'm here, let me just explain a little bit about the layout of the screen. There, on this side is where you could select various search criteria that you're interested in. Let me scroll down a little bit to get a bit of view of it. There are three categories of search criteria that I can use. One is what we call Planscape, which is a term that we use to really classify what may be common sense approach to classify organizations or projects. Planscape has a connotation as a landscape. In other words, what is some of the categorization that we can use to classify it? And structures and organizations and projects within Rochester. So within Planscape, I'm going to try first to see, I'm interested looking for organizations or projects that are dealing with, have impact on diversity and inclusion. So I'm clicking that. I just click diversity inclusion. And as a result of that, clicking that, the database yields for the organizations column. There are 94 organizations that DMC Beam is aware of that have been registered to DMC Beam. 94 organizations that have something to do with diversity and inclusion. And on the right-hand column of the result is the shows the projects or initiatives or programs that have impact on diversity and inclusion. 98 results. So if you say, well, that seems to be quite a bit, and is there a way to narrow that search? So what I can do here is I can click here to further refine the search criteria to make it more focused. So I can, for example, I wanted to find the kind of projects I would call feature, meaning they're really important to our community. The feature programs have a purpose to drive multiple initiatives. They're larger initiative. So I'm going to click featured. And as a result of this clicking this, I discovered that there are actually 11 feature projects that have a larger impact on diversity inclusion, meaning that from this, for example, the advancement via individual determination implementation, this particular project is being driven by Rochester Public School that have potentially linkages and in fact has an overarching relationship to multiple programs and projects that it can impact finer grained areas of diversity inclusion within the school. Now, at this point, I'm not going to drill down on each of these programs, but I just want to show you the power of the search. So, on the other hand, for the column under organizations, there are 94 organizations that have popped up that I consider to have impact on diversity inclusion. So I want to make it a little finer as well. So I want to say, well, what about purely from a uh, nonprofit standpoint, a chartered nonprofit organization as opposed to other types of organizations? So if I click 501c3, then the result comes out to be 48 organizations, as opposed to if I didn't click it, if I didn't really care, there are 94. So if I only look for nonprofit, it's a smaller set, 48. So that will give you a sense of what Planscape category is about. And sometimes if you get to a point where you click too many of these selections, you get yourself a little confused. You can start from the beginning and hit reset. That would clear out all the search criteria that you have selected. Another feature that will be of interest to people that are interested in looking for projects or organizations impacting DMC. Under DMC, there are categories like livable city, hotel and hospitality, etc. And another one is in terms of what subdistricts that a project or an organization have certain amount of impact on. I am being on the board of YMCA. I'm quite interested in this subdistrict known as Yoma and Recreation. And because the Y is situated there, so I would like to find out a bit more about what organizations and or projects may have some impact on that particular subdistrict. So I just click that. So as a result, a couple of organizations popped up that have potential impact on that subdistrict. And as well as on this other column, it will show what programs or projects could potentially have impact on that particular subdistrict. Uh, Alternatively, I could click St. Mary's Place. And St. Mary's Place, as a result, you see all these projects that have popped up. The best known, of course, is the Alatus Development Project, which I actually can click into. If I click on it, it should take me to that detail of that project. And I'm waiting for the response. The bandwidth looks like it's slowed down because of the recording. Okay, so it comes in. This is the Alatus Development Project. You can now see some detailed information, where it's located and what kind of status it has, and what is this phase. Development is currently is the plan phase. Okay, so let me go back to. So essentially, I have shown you how I can use search, and I demonstrated this to the Collective Leadership Fellows uh, program, and so now I'm gonna stop this recording, and